Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought I would film the long-awaited university frequently asked questions. So I'm going to be giving you guys the lowdown on all of my most asked questions about university, questions that I've seen being asked to so many other people like me who vlog about university and talk about university a lot on my social medias, and then just general questions that I hear a lot from parents who come to open days. I've done a few open days at the University of Lincoln for my course, and I speak to a lot of parents and a lot of students who are coming up, so I know quite a lot of the questions that people do ask, and obviously I was in that position only a couple of years ago, so I do remember a lot of questions that I was thinking. So along with you guys, I'm going to answer your guys' questions first, and then if I feel like I need to cover anything along the way, then I will. And if I don't cover anything that you really wanted to know, then definitely comment down below because I'll get back to you as soon as possible, or if I get a lot of questions, I'll film a part 2 of this. So let's get on because I feel like this could get really long. I'm going to try and be as quick to the point as possible because I know I like to ramble, but I just feel like it'll be way better if I'm just hitting all of the points straight up. How does the grading system work at university? This is probably one of my most asked questions. So basically, obviously when you're at sixth form and doing your GCSEs and stuff, your grades are like A, B, C. You know, A star's the highest, A, B, C, D, E, F, fail. At university, a fail is anything below 40% within a module. There are different leeways depending on your course or university. It's all different, but most of the time, if you're going to if you're going to quite a stereotypical university, especially in the UK, I don't know if the American system's very different, it probably is, but in the UK, the system is usually 40 to 49% is a third, 50 to 59% is a 2-2, 60 to 69% is a 2-1, and then the highest you can get is 70% and above, so 70 to 100% is a first. I've got literally a range of grades since I've been to university. I finished my first year with a 2-1. I'm currently awaiting my second year results, which will be coming in the next few weeks, so make sure you're around. Make sure you subscribe to my vlog channel because you'll be able to see what results I get in the next couple of weeks, because I'm getting all my exam results back and seeing what I passed for second year. It's very nerve-wracking because it could go towards my third year grades if they're good enough. I will definitely put them forward for my overall degree, but if not, and I don't get the grades that I want, then I'm going to have to work my ass off in third year, which I was going to do it regardless, but I'm going to have to work even more. So yeah, anyway, that's the grading system, and I hope that sort of helped you guys out. So first is obviously the best. What would you say are the most important questions to ask on an open day? So for me, my most important questions were how much of the course is chemistry and biology based. So be quite specific with your course. I'm doing forensic science at the University of Lincoln, and I wanted to know how much of the course was going to be biology based, chemistry based, computing, crime, law. I just wanted to sort of know a lot more about the course because there are so many different types of forensic courses around the UK. Some of them had whole computing modules, which is something I definitely didn't want, so I just wanted to sort of make sure what course I was going into was going to be the right thing for me and I was going to enjoy it. Another thing I definitely ask is about accommodation. Make sure that the accommodation has the facilities. Make sure you go check out the accommodation that you want to live in. Make sure you look at it. I think it's so important because you want to know where you're living, what you've got surrounding, have you got all the facilities you want. I knew I wanted my own ensuite, especially in first year when you don't know anyone. I just felt like having my own toilet was a nice bit of privacy. So yeah, I definitely think asking about accommodation and your course specifically is the most important. How much money should be saved over the summer before university? So I don't personally think there's a set amount. It obviously depends on what student loan you're getting. I'll go into student loan. I'm sure I've talked about it before on my channel, but student loan is dependent on your parents' income. So you never see the £9,250 that goes straight to the university for your course. You never see that money ever. And then you get your maintenance loan, which is dependent on your parents' income. My parents don't earn a lot together collectively, so I get one of the highest loans. I don't get the highest anymore because of several reasons, which I'm not really too sure about myself. I've been questioning them, ringing them up and stuff, and I haven't really got a specific answer. But people whose parents earn quite a lot of money, probably over 80,000 a year together, get the smallest amount of loan, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's dependent on how much your parents earn. So if you know that you're gonna be able to cover yourself really well, and you've got a high maintenance loan that covers your rent and your food costs and stuff, then you don't need to obviously work and collect so much money over summer. I would definitely get some and keep it in your savings just in case times get short and low. there are times where I've been so low because I haven't had enough money, even with one of the highest loans. So yeah, I definitely save up as much money as you physically can. There's not a set amount. If you know you're gonna go crazy at freshers, maybe save up a little bit more. I don't go out every single night at freshers. I did in first year pretty much, but I still didn't even spend that much because I'd already bought like alcohol before I went to uni, and I mainly just used that and then just bought entrance into clubs. So yeah, I hope that helps. I would say, I think I took about £400, but it's not necessary. Thoughts on delaying uni until you're in your later 20s? Go for it. Honestly, when you go to university, you'll realise there are people of so many ages, people who have had 3 gap years, 4 gap years, people who are mature students who have come and they are like part-time, so they have kids and like are married and live in a house miles away. Like, honestly, it doesn't matter how long you wait to go to university, just do it whenever you're ready. I feel like there's a time and place for everyone, so just don't focus on the norm of like going straight after school. Go in your late 20s when you feel like ready for it. Best advice for getting first. I really want to up my game next year and work towards a first. I think you have to really, really prioritise your degree over everything. There have been times where I've really wanted a first, but my mental health was getting super bad, so I had to like sort of look and work on myself before I did anything more. So yeah, I'd say you have to prioritise your degree over socialising, going out. If you're naturally clever, then great for you, because you're probably more inclined to get a first from doing less work, which is definitely not the case for me. Like, I'm definitely capable of getting a first, just like all of you are out there, but I have to work for it. Like, I really have to work for it. It doesn't come ridiculously natural to me, like, at all. I do find it a bit difficult, but yeah, I just think just make sure you're balancing your time well. Limit your socialising times, because I always find if I go out like at the weekend, then I'll spend the whole next day just lazing around and doing fuck all. So sometimes I had to like sacrifice a lot when I am trying to work towards like a good grade in something. So yeah. How much can you live on a week in uni? I have lived on like £5 a week sometimes, which is obviously not ideal, so the overdraft has to be used every now and again. But I'd say £30, like you could easily live off £30. I'm not one to buy like the most expensive branded things in shops. Like, I'm just not like really, like, I know that there are some things I like that are branded, but I just don't come across like very snobby. I'm not like I have to have this brand, I have to have this brand. I sort of like just work with what I've got. With food shops, I'd probably spend about £15-20 a week, which is, I think, is quite good, because I know people who spend about £40 on their weekly shop. So yeah, I think it's very dependent on what you get. I usually shop at either Morrison's or Tesco when I'm at uni. Sometimes we've done an Asda shop, I want to say, but yeah, mainly Morrison's and Tesco's are our go-to. And yeah, I think you could live off £30 a week, like £20 on your food shop, £5 on your laundry, and then another £5. This is if times are low, but if you've got like £50 to spend a week, then you'll be more than fine, basically. What's it like going from home to uni and settling in and everything? So I think it is the best thing for anyone. I just found it incredible for my independence, for my self-confidence. Like, I have learned so much from living on my own at university. I would never want to go back and not do it. Like, I am so happy I went to university. Even if I come out with a fail and I don't even get a degree, I have learned so much from university. I have just learned so much about myself, about how I deal with things, and I don't know, I just think it's such a great experience. Alongside your degree, you're learning so much more about life, yourself. Like, you just, I don't know, I just feel like it's a real good learning curve to go to university. So yeah, settling in I think is fine. For me, I felt so overwhelmed by the amount of uni and stuff. I didn't really think about home too much. I know a lot of people get homesick, but I didn't really suffer with that. I just sort of like was right in there. I was all busy, like meeting new people, going to lectures, going and doing bits and pieces that were on in freshers. So yeah, I think settling in is actually way easier than you think. Well, from my opinion anyway. How do you get on if you're not a huge drinker? I'm not a huge drinker. I feel like I've drank a bit more since I've been to university, but I was never peer pressured. I just sort of like I like having a drink every now and again. You don't have to drink. I have friends that came out with us on freshers that didn't drink and just like dancing. If you just don't like going out altogether, maybe just get involved in pre-drinks. You don't have to drink again. Just maybe get involved in some of the games, have a chat, get to know your flatmates, and then they can go out, get pissed, get hungover, feel sick the next day, and you'll be absolutely fine. So honestly, don't worry about it. I know you probably will feel not normal, because sometimes I do, when there are people who ask me how many times I go out a week, and I'm like, probably once a month sometimes. But yeah, I know how it feels, but honestly, just focus on you, do what you want to do. If anyone judges you for it, you don't need them in your life. That's my advice. Tips on food shopping: always go for unbranded stuff unless there's something that you really like. Obviously treat yourself. I always get lots of fruit and veg because it lasts me throughout the whole week, and I always find I feel so much better if I've got like a nice healthy or majority healthy food shop. Don't use plastic bags when you're getting stuff like bananas and apples and stuff, and things that you actually can wash or it doesn't even need a bag, just to save the environment. Any other tips for food shopping? I'd say like set yourself a budget, maybe write a list beforehand so that you're not like wandering down the aisles and picking extra stuff up if you're tight at the minute. Oh, someone's asked me about the differences in forensic science compared to TV shows. It's so much different. There are only a very few programs that the forensics are actually spot on and very accurate. I've obviously watched a lot of forensic stuff because I'm interested in that, hence why I'm doing the degree, and 9 times out of 10 the forensics is all wrong. They're always doing something that's not the right practice or just making some random shit up. I don't know, it's just very different learning the actual forensics in comparison to what you see on TV shows. In what way is uni different to high school? I find that there is still bitchiness, but there is less bitchiness, if you know what I mean. It's not, everyone doesn't know each other, so it's just very broad. Like I pretty much know everyone's name at secondary school because I just know faces and names. But at uni, like I only know most of my course because it's quite a small course, but there's just so many people, so there's so many opportunities to make friends. Even if you haven't found friends in your flat or on your course, you'll find them within societies. Even just hanging around, like in the library, sometimes I've had a chat with someone just because like something funny's happened around or something. I don't know, I just have found so many opportunities to make friends, whereas I think at secondary school, because you're so restricted to only a few people, it's kind of hard. But so I'd say that there's a lot more people to get to know at uni, and that's what I love about it. And the grading system's a little bit different, so it's like percentages rather than like letter grades like ABC. Exams are pretty much the same, and obviously you're living on your own, so I find there's a lot more pressures when it comes to uni because you go home and then you have to do all your chores, which I know is what our parents do, I guess, but you have to do obviously all your chores, you have to do extra work outside of university, you have to socialise to obviously get like a nice balance in your life, you have to make your own food, do your laundry. There's like just a lot of pressures that you're suddenly thrown into, especially if you've lived in a household where your parents have done quite a lot for you over the years, which I'd say I'm thankful for, and that like my mum's does a lot of like the little bits and pieces that I didn't do before, so it was sort of like a learning curve, and I wish I did a lot more for myself before I went to uni, but obviously I've learned that myself, which I do appreciate now. Okay, someone's asked, when living in halls, do you have to tell the university when you're visiting home, or can you just go? For me, we never had to tell our halls anything. They were just sort of there as extra security if something went wrong in our flat. We had like a post office that was 24 hours if there was problems and stuff. But no, you don't have to tell your accommodation at all if you're going home for a weekend, a week, 3 weeks, anything. You just probably have to contact the university if you're going home for some sort of like bereavement reasons or like medical reasons or anything like that. Just let the university know, because otherwise your attendance might go down and they might think that you're dropping out and stuff. So yeah, that's what I'd advise. Someone said, how easily and naturally do you make friends at uni? Literally, I think it's the easiest time, especially during freshers. Everyone is in the same position, everyone's scared of making friends. I speak about this so much because I know how much of a stress it is to a lot of new students, but you will 100% make friends in some way, shape or form within the first month of university. I'm gonna say it. So someone said, how do you combat the anxiety of not knowing anyone when I go to uni in September? I obviously knew Megan because we've been friends for ages, but if she wasn't there, I would have been in the same position. You're going to be nervous, like of course you're going to be nervous if you just tell yourself like, of course I'm anxious about this because it's such a weird thing, like I'm literally just moving out to a completely new town, city or whatever that's far away from my home. I'm not going to have the comforts of my bedroom at home and my friends at home and people at home and stuff, so of course I should be nervous. So if you just sort of like rationalise why you're feeling that way, I think it should somewhat make it feel better and you'll literally fit in no time, so don't worry. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will definitely do a part 2 of this if you guys are interested. I have a lot of questions, but I don't want these to be like super long that no one really wants to sit and watch the whole thing. So make sure to hit a thumbs up if you have enjoyed this video, subscribe down below if you're new, and let me know if you want a part 2 of this very soon because I will be more than happy to help you guys out. Thanks for watching. Bye.